Evaluate 2 cosine 10 degrees minus sine 20 degrees over cosine 20 degrees. Double angle formula, sine 2a equals 2 sine a cosine a. By applying this formula, we can write sine 20 degrees as 2 sine 10 degrees cosine 10 degrees. Now we focus on the numerator. Both terms have the factor 2 cosine 10 degrees. So we can now write 2 cosine 10 degrees times 1 minus sine 10 degrees. We know that sine x equals cosine 90 degrees minus x. So we can write sine 10 degrees as cosine 80 degrees. Double angle formula, cosine 2a equals 1 minus 2 sine squared a. So cosine 80 degrees equals 1 minus 2 sine squared 40 degrees. So 1 minus cosine 80 degrees equals 2 sine squared 40 degrees. So we write 2 sine squared 40 degrees here. Sine squared 40 degrees is equal to sine 40 degrees times sine 40 degrees. By applying the double angle formula for sine to one of the sine 40 degrees, we can now write 2 sine 20 degrees cosine 20 degrees. So we now have 2 cubed in the numerator. So we can now write 8 cosine 10 degrees, sine 40 degrees, sine 20 degrees, cosine 20 degrees, cosine 20 degrees in the numerator, and that in the denominator cancel. Sum and product formula, cosine A minus cosine B equals minus 2 sine A plus B over 2 sine A minus B over 2. So cosine 20 degrees minus cosine 60 degrees can be written as 2 sine 40 degrees sine 20 degrees. We now have 8 cosine 10 degrees sine 40 degrees sine 20 degrees. We know that 2 sine 40 degrees sine 20 degrees can be written as cosine 20 degrees minus cosine 60 degrees. So we can now write equals 4 cosine 10 degrees times cosine 20 degrees minus cosine 60 degrees. Now we expand the trigonometric expression. We know that cosine 60 degrees equals a half. So we can now write equals 4 cosine 10 degrees cosine 20 degrees minus 2 cosine 10 degrees. Sum and product formula, cosine A plus cosine B equals 2 cosine A plus B over 2 cosine A minus B over 2. So cosine 30 degrees plus cosine 10 degrees can be written as 2 cosine 20 degrees cosine 10 degrees. We know that 2 cosine 20 degrees cosine 10 degrees can be written as cosine 30 degrees plus cosine 10 degrees. So 4 cosine 10 degrees cosine 20 degrees is equal to 2 times cosine 30 degrees plus 2 times cosine 10 degrees. So we can now write equals 2 cosine 30 degrees plus 2 cosine 10 degrees minus 2 cosine 10 degrees. We can see that 2 cosine 10 degrees and minus 2 cosine 10 degrees cancel. So we can now write equals 2 cosine 30 degrees. We know that cosine 30 degrees is equal to root 3 over 2. So we can now write equals root 3.